Hey, some friends, welcome back to my channel. I'm Symptomistic, like optimistic, but make it Sims. And this is episode 2 of the new LP, Barbie Legacy Challenge Generation 2. We're here with Chloe. We're having the welcome wagon, seeing if we can meet some new neighbors. If you remember last episode, you know Chloe already scammed this neighbor in the hat, the elderly woman. She already kind of scammed her, but we are going to see what's shaking with these new neighbors. And if you have questions about this whole thing that's a little scammy, you should watch the previous episode, because maybe she scammed her, maybe she invested her money, I don't know, but it's a lot of that going around these days. And it looks like Chloe is connecting with these neighbors. Um they look pretty cool. I didn't give them makeovers. Yeah, I don't think I gave any of them makeovers. This girl is really cute. I guess she was already in the save pile. And this guy with the light brown hair, he was also already in the save file. Um, this guy with like the high top fade, I'm gonna give him a slight makeover because Chloe is actually attracted to him. You can see there's like a little flirtiness going on between them. I think his name is Blaine. So I think we're gonna give him a makeover just to kind of see if anything goes on with that guy just disappeared. I guess he was not invited to the welcome wagon, even though he clearly lives here. But yeah, we're gonna give him a makeover at some point just to see if we can kind of anything comes from this. But yeah, just basic old welcome wagon. Moving on. As for wrapping up the welcome wagon, I think some people have left. Chloe's dad, Cameron, actually shows up because Chloe has kind of just been doing her own thing. She hasn't really been connecting with the family. She's just been trying to figure it out on her own. So Cameron, he's like, let me pop up. And he's already looking around like, this building looks a little sketchy. He doesn't love it, but he does love how independent Chloe is. Like, I think even though he raised his daughters a certain way, he wants them to have more independence. And Chloe is happy to see her dad. And her dad is kind of looking around at all these guys and saying, it's a lot of dudes in this building. But, they're happy to see each other. I think they're just going to hang out a little bit. The welcome wagon is still here, but they're wrapping up. And so it's nice to get some family time in as well. So after the busy day, well, there's still some day going on, but after the welcome wagon and hanging with her dad a little bit, uh, Chloe and Delaney decide to hit up this festival. And, it's in Chloe's neighborhood, so why not? She's still getting out and meeting people. I love the spring flowers in San Moschino. It always looks so nice. Well, I guess it's summer, but whatever. The pink flowers, they look very springy. So they decide to go out and do some romance festival time. I think I sometimes, let me know what you guys feel, but like I hate filming the festivals because I'm like, haven't we all seen these festivals a million times? How long has this game been out? But then I feel like important things happen at the festival, so I can't not film the festival. So please let me know in the comments how you guys feel about the festivals. One thing I noticed about Chloe so far in her life on her own is that as much as she wants to be very wealthy, she also wants to spend this money and enjoy this money. So she has made a lot of money for somebody so young, like very quickly. I mean, I guess not a lot, but more than the average sim, because she started working hard in high school. And, if you look at her goal, which I'll show a little bit later in the video, but she's made a decent amount of money. But unfortunately, she spent a lot of it. I mean, I guess I will say with Chloe that her goal is a long-term goal. So she does want to live her life. She's not someone who's just going to save all her money. So it's going to make this generation much more difficult in this challenge. If you want to see what the challenge requirements are, look in the link below. But basically, the sim has to reach the fabulously wealthy trait. She has to max out her charisma and her logic, which is definitely possible. That probably is the easiest part. And so I feel like there's not that much to this challenge other than she has to make all this money. And Chloe's definitely going to spend this money. The reason I brought this up is because she's over here painting. She's, having this great experience with Delaney. I think she's actually going to buy art from that lady over there. So, when she gets a little money in her pocket, she's going to buy a new outfit, she's gonna buy something for the apartment, and it's just gonna take her longer to reach her goals, but it does not mean that this is not an important goal to her. So yeah, let me know if that makes sense in the comments. It doesn't feel like there is much romance happening at this festival, but I think it's great that Delaney and Chloe are able to hang out. Chloe has a lot to be thankful for Delaney from, but yeah, there was no romance there. So we're gonna move on to another day. And this day, Chloe is actually out for a jog. You know, she's still like getting the lay of the land in San Moschino. I think she's in the fashion. Yeah, she's in the fashion district because she wanted like a very bougie experience. The Spice District was not for her. And she sees Blaine, who our girl Chloe met the other day, and he is actually watching this protest happen. Now, I really see this in my game. Maybe I do not have my son walk around in the fashion district. Maybe it's fashion district specific, or maybe I'm just missing it. But I feel like maybe there was like one other time I've seen this in my gameplay, but let me know if there's like a trick to always see it, or like, you know, if you're trying to story tell. But yeah, Chloe walks up to Blaine. It's kind of like, well, hey, you know, what's going on with this protest? And he's like, yeah, they're protesting low wages for Sims. Like, we need a higher minimum wage for Sims so that they can not have to live in like the roach and rodent infested apartments here in San Myshuno. And Chloe's like, yeah, that's great. I really would have loved to start out making more money, you know, starting so young. And Blaine's like, yeah, that's cool, but, you know, I have to run. So Chloe's like, wow, like I feel like I'm trying to be super friendly with this guy, but like I'm laying on the charm and nothing's really working. But Chloe doesn't really need to worry about any of that because her focus, her career, she's moving up the ladder. Oh, that's another requirement for this challenge, that the career, that she maxes out her career as an investor. So we are doing that. Another day, another event, another festival. This really feels like the festival episode. Like I'm just running through every festival. I mean, I guess it's only two. This probably actually is more the outside episode, like just being in the neighborhood in San Myshuno. But I guess that's what you do when you first move here. But yeah, this is Nikki. This is Chloe's sister, if you don't know. And Nikki wanted to come out to this festival. I love that Chloe is like staying connected with her family because they don't live too far. They live in Newcrest. And I feel like she couldn't wait to get away from them. But now that she's on her own and she has her own space, I think she appreciates being around them more than she did when she was just like, I don't have anything going on. They're taking all my money. Like, I guess it's like that collective. She wants to get out of the collective. But yeah, they're just gonna hang. This is the, what is it, the Jokes and Hijinks, that festival. So not too much going on there, but just want to show you that Chloe is outside. And so is Nikki. Another day at work, another promotion. So Chloe is moving up the ranks very fast. I think it's mainly because she's already had that high charisma skill and like decently high logic skill. So she's moved up the rank, and with all her bonus, she bought some new furniture. You see, she has a real bed here. And what else did she get? She didn't really get much else, but at least she has a real bed. I feel like that's what's important. She has a real bed. You know, she put up the painting that she got from the romance festival with Delaney. And with her new title, she will be going on a business trip, which I'm very excited about. She will be going out to the West Coast to work on viewing some coffee shops. So essentially, the company she works for, they is a coffee company, and she has to go out and just kind of observe and see how these coffee shops are doing. She works on like the corporate side, and that's the job Delaney helped her get with Delaney's uncle. And so, you know, she's moving up the ranks here, and she will be doing that. So I'm just creating a holiday because I feel like I don't really create many holidays. I actually don't even think she'll wait till this day to go on the business trip. But I just want to try to like step out of my shell because a lot of times I just do things in the Sims, no events, no holidays, just vibes. And so I was like, let's give her a holiday, give her some credit so that she can have, better trades as she gets older. So, okay, so here we are in Oasis Springs. That is the Airbnb that Chloe will be staying at. So if you need to know the name of the build and want to search on the gallery, it is there. And how will Chloe get this money? I put the money in her account because let's say the company has like, I don't know, they have cash for this and she doesn't have to use credit or anything that's complicated. So they gave her the money so that she can pay her Airbnb bill when she's done and so that she can get food while she's out there. They gave her like a lump sum so she's not going to try to overspend because then she can pocket some of that money. So yeah, there's her luggage. Let's just get her walking over there being all cute, but that's her luggage that she brought to this Airbnb, and I think she's very excited. I mean, she's still getting used to her apartment, but this is a bigger space. She knows that. She saw pictures online. It's a bigger space, and it'll be like having her own house for a couple days, which she's never experienced. And she's also never been on the West Coast. I think she's never really left that like tri-state of Willow Creek, Newcrest, San Myshuno. Like that's kind of just where she experienced growing up. And this house is amazing. Like Chloe would love to live someplace like this once she can afford it. So she's just walking around, going from room to room, looking at this setup that she has all to herself. And she's like, wow, I can't imagine having this. And she's like, I know the cost of living here in Oasis Springs is lower than San Myshuno, but even now, like with her moving up the ranks, she still couldn't really afford the space. And, she's going to enjoy it. She's going to relax. She's going to watch a little TV because she doesn't have a TV. She's going to call her homegirl and just chill out because she doesn't really have to do anything until the morning and she had a long flight. All right, before we go to bed, we are going to take some selfies. And if you're wondering where I got the image for my first episode of this series, it's from these selfies because I didn't take any pictures during anything that happened in that first episode. And luckily, I had already started recording this episode, so I had some pictures here. But Chloe is really proud to be here. She feels like she had like a stigma because she didn't have a university degree or is not pursuing one. So that also makes her like younger than a lot of the other Sims. Like I think she's still like maybe 18, 19. So yeah, she's a little bit younger than other Sims who are in the same position. And, she feels like she had to kind of struggle to do this and figure it out on her own. And so these selfies are a way of like just capturing the moment and being really proud. And so, yeah, we're going to take a couple of these before we go to bed. And then it should be the next day where we get to experience Oasis Springs a little more. Morning, Simmers. So here we are going for our run, but we are not only going for our run, we are going to work. So the way this works is that no one's supposed to know Chloe works for the company. She's supposed to observe the coffee shops and the coffee stands as if as if she's like she's like a secret shopper basically. And except she's on the payroll of the company. And so that's what she's going to do. She's going to go for her run and then she's going to walk over to this coffee shop and order something, see how it tastes, see how the customers are reacting. And if you ask me, this feels like a pretty sweet gig for her, especially like, again, being 18, 19. Like, she's like, wow, like all I have to do is like look at some of these experiences and write a little report. Like, this feels like such easy work and things that Chloe already would want to do. Like, she already would want to travel and explore. And so, yeah, this seems like, she has it in the bag. And it's nice that she gets her workout in because I feel like Chloe has not, she's done a couple of runs, but like, she grew up like that this is something you do every morning and she really just hasn't had time to do this every morning because sometimes she's tired, also like going out a lot more. She just really hasn't been able to have like a set routine and she has gained a little weight, but she's comfortable. She's just focused on her goals. And so this coffee shop seems to be doing decently. Like, doesn't seem like there's anything wrong. They got her coffee pretty quickly. This lady seems to be in a good mood. So I think we're going to give this little stall an A. And it's also Freedom Day. So that kind of sucks that Chloe has to work on Freedom Day. But she doesn't really care. She never could afford to do anything on Freedom Day before. So she's like, maybe next year I'll be off and be able to spend money. And she's just gonna walk down to this area, which I've never noticed this area at all. Like, I don't know, this episode, I feel like I'm discovering parts of the game that have been there for an eternity. Or maybe it's in the save file. I don't know. But I feel like I just never saw this. And what are we going to do when we're having a great moment? We're going to take another selfie. And the selfie likely is the thumbnail for this video. But who knows? We'll see what happens in editing. But yeah, she feels focused. Things are really going great. She has to visit another coffee shop, like an actual shop. So she'll do that a little later. But yeah, this water looks beautiful. Oasis Springs looks good on Chloe. And it looks like Chloe likes taking pictures or photography in general. So let me know in the comments if you think that is a trait that Chloe should pursue, if there's anything that she can do that's like a good side hustle for that, if she like is stepping into the influencer world a little bit. I don't know, like I feel like there are things further in the legacy. Like I think you can be like a singer or an actress. I think those are like several generations later. So yeah, I'm on the fence about like having Chloe do fame stuff, but I would love to know what you think, because I feel like she could make a little money on the side, because she's moving very slowly on this fabulously wealthy situation. I know we'll get there, but she's just moving extremely slowly. And we are back in the house. We have to go write our report before we go to the next coffee shop. The next coffee shop is the Slow Roasted Cafe, so you can find it on the gallery. I am not 100% sure if this was already in the save file or I went to find it. And by the way, I'm showing you guys my loading screen. I usually cut that out, but I just didn't this time. Sometimes I will, sometimes I won't. But if you have a preference, just obviously let me know. But we are here at Slow Roasted Cafe, and everything looks good. Chloe is still incognito, no little like workwear outfit, just looking like a girl coming in for her iced coffee on a summer day. And this shop looks really like it's in great condition on the outside. Everything's clean. There's no graffiti. There's no loiterers. Like, it just looks like they have the updated menu. Everything looks great. Chloe's like, I wish we had a coffee shop like this on the East Coast, or at least near San Moschino. But she's going to go in. Doesn't seem to be any customers in, but you know. Oh, well, there's a shirtless man. Chloe's going to make a note of that, because it really should be no shirt, no shoes, no service. This is an upscale place. But this man back here looks like he's working hard. He's making the coffee right away. So that is a plus for this place. Looks like the pastries look fresh. Looks like they haven't been sitting there for days. Chloe's going to make an order. She's going to have the barista recommendation, because why not? She's gonna move away from this man with no shirt on, because that's kind of strange. She's gonna have a seat, and it looks like the barista is bringing out coffee too, so that's really nice. Like, he's not just behind the counter. Oh, and Chloe made a friend, because she's like socializing. She's trying to be normal, but also she wants to connect with people, even though she does not know when she's going to be back in Oasis Springs. And I'm still on the fence about when I'm giving these people makeovers. Like, I guess I just have to be in the mood to kind of be in create a sim. So sometimes I will give people makeovers immediately, sometimes I won't. That's that. Chloe has her pastry. She had her little coffee. She may have another one. But honestly, the food looks really great. The place is jumping now. Like, there's a lot more people coming in. And so Chloe's like, this place is in amazing condition. And look who she runs into. I don't remember his name, but he lives in her building. There's a strange man coming in with a coat on, even though it's hot. But yeah, he lives in her building, and she's like, what are you doing here? And he's like, oh, you know, like I DJ sometimes, so I come out here. And he's like, what are you doing out here? She's like, oh, I'm here on a business trip. And he's like, oh, aren't you fancy on a business trip? And she's like, well, isn't your DJing a business? And he's like, yeah, but it's a little more laid back than that. But I think we are going to wrap this episode right here. Chloe still has another day of her trip, but this is her last business stop. She did everything and got it out the way. So Blaine, I I feel like these Sims be trying to be funny. He knows that she likes him and he's asking her about this foolishness. So she's gonna say, do what you want. Anyway, we are going to have some fun in the next episode exploring Oasis Springs. It'll be less about the business. Uh I don't know if anything else is going to happen with this dude from her building that she ran into out here. I don't know if she's going to see him again. I don't know. Lots of questions, but she has to go home and write her report after this wraps up. And yeah, things are just going really smoothly. She's really loving Oasis Springs. Maybe there's a move in her future. But that's about it, guys. Thank you for watching episode 2. Let me know if you have any suggestions for Chloe and her business endeavors. Oh, and especially her dating endeavors, because the dating feels like scatterbrain. Like she's all over the place. I'm optimistic, but make it sense. Thank y'all for watching. Bye, some friends.